Are you looking to grow your real estate investing business? My company, Future Flipper, can help. We've taught hundreds of people all over the country how to flip, wholesale, and buy rental properties. And it doesn't matter where you're at in your investing journey. Whether you're trying to get your first deal or scale your company, Future Flipper can help. We have courses, coaching, and events for all levels of investors. So if you want to take the next step, go to futureflipper.com and book a free consultation to see how we can best help you. Once again, that's futureflipper.com. If you've ever wanted to invest with me on my real estate deals, it's now possible. At Pineda Capital, we're purchasing value-add real estate all across the country. This includes multifamily, commercial, and land development. The best part is, with my network, social media presence, and marketing strategies, we're able to get the very best deals that others don't have access to. You can join in with me on those deals if you're an accredited investor. If you want to learn more, head over to pinedacapital.com to see our current opportunities. Once again, that's pinedacapital.com. Welcome to the Ryan Pineda Show, where our mission is to invest.
I only expect to make money in things that I understand.
Innovate.
It's about believing in the future and thinking that the future will be better than the past.
And inspire. I am much more likely to hit my goal just due to putting it out there.
You're now rocking with the best.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Ryan Pineda Show. Today, we got a solo episode, and I'm talking about goals. It is a brand new year, which means everybody's setting goals. And if you're smart, you got the Wealthy Way Planner, which is going to help you set goals tremendously. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I just launched the Wealthy Way. Go to wealthyway.com, get everything for free. Get our Wealth Builder Academy. You can get our planner for 2022. It's an amazing app my developers made, and you can join our Discord community. So wealthyway.com. But yeah, we're going to talk about how to set goals and how I do it, how I've set them throughout my life, and how they've made me pretty successful doing that. I would tell you one of the biggest reasons, if not the biggest reasons, I've been able to achieve so many different things is because I'm laser focused on my goals. Like, I know exactly what I want to accomplish, and I figure out the steps to get there, and I don't let other shiny objects distract me from hitting those goals. So we're going to talk about how to actually do that and stay accountable to your goals on a daily basis. So first thing, okay, obviously download the Wealthy Way Planner, like I said, but the first thing that you're going to do with any goal and any vision is to think about, what do you want to be like in 5 years? Where do you want your life? Okay. Some people call this your 5-year plan, your vision, whatever you call it. I want you to think about 5 years from now in your perfect life. Where would things be? How much money would you have in the bank? What kind of assets would you have, right? What kind of job would you be working? What's your schedule look like? What would you be doing, with your family? How's your relationships? How's your health, right? What kind of shape are you in? What kind of car do you drive? All of these things. Like, just think about it. And if you really want, you can write them down and kind of write this outline out of your ideal life 5 years from now. And it'll start helping you understand, like, how big do you really want to go? Because a lot of people, they walk around aimlessly. They're just kind of living day to day with no direction. And when you live like that, two things happen. One, you either just keep doing the same thing you've always done and you never grow. Or two, the world dictates where you're going and you're just kind of never forcing, what you want to happen. You're just kind of letting everyone else dictate your life. And I would say this majority of the world is kind of like that. They think they have no control of anything. And so, everything that happens to them happens. They're very reactive instead of being proactive. So if you don't want to do that, the first thing you have to do is see, where exactly do you want your life? And you should make your 5-year vision very big. When I think about my life 5 years ago, okay, I've told this story many times. 5 years ago, when I was 27 years old, it was the first time I ever made over 6 figures in a year. And to think 5 years later, I'm at where I'm at today is absolutely mind-blowing. I could not have predicted it 5 years ago. It would have been so crazy that there's just no way. But I should have been. I should have been thinking about, like, how big could we make things? Like, what would the ideal life be? Because you got to have direction for where you want to go. And, my 5-year vision, it's something I keep to myself. Like, I'm transparent about a lot of things, but there are some things that are personal to me that I'd rather not share. But I'll tell you, like, one big 5-year vision is that, I'm worth over $100 million. And saying it out loud is kind of weird, but it's like a really big goal that a year ago I set it, and I was like, man, that would be crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, but I think I know I have the capability. I don't know how it can happen, but like, I think that would be a really good financial goal. And now today, a year later, I look at it and I say, yeah, we're like on the way. It's possible. Like, it's definitely not easy, and it's definitely not something that's like even for sure could happen. Like, but I could definitely see a path and ways to get there. So, thinking in that aspect of, how you want your life to look 5 years from now. If you're broke today and you're saying I want to be worth 100 million, might be a little pie in the sky, but to say that you want to be a millionaire, very attainable. Like, literally anyone can become a millionaire in 5 years with all the things that are there. And I'll tell you, people say this all the time, but like going from 0 to 100,000 is the hardest. Going from 100,000 to $1 million is the next hardest. Or sorry, I take that back. 0 to 100,000 is the hardest. 100,000 to $1 million is easier. $1 million to 10 million is easier. Like, I've heard countless people say it, and I can attest to this. Like, making that first 100,000 was very difficult. I started working when I was 21, didn't make over 100,000 until I was 27. Then I got to $1 million just a few years later. Then a few years later after that, was able to make $1 million in a month. So my point is, it gets easier as you develop the skills. And so, like, now when I have a 5-year vision, I'm like, okay, if I just stay on the path, and I'm kind of at the point now where I've gone through so much of the hard work. So, when you're thinking of this 5-year vision, my point is, think big, but also understand kind of where you're at today in your journey. So that's the first thing. Now, once you have your 5-year vision, next thing you got to set is your yearly goals. Now, this is where the Wealthy Way comes into play. I set my goals in the acronym of WEALTH. WEALTH stands for worship, the W's for worship, E, education, A, affluence, L, lifestyle, T for team, H for health, okay? Those are the 6 categories I set my goals in. And so, for me, they represent all the aspects of life. Why would you set goals only for money? That's kind of dumb. Why would you not set goals for everything in your life? Because your life is a lot more than just your career and money, right? We all say, like most people anyways, they say that family's important. How many family goals have you set? If you say 0, that tells me it's not very important to you, right? So that's got to change. And so that's why I created the WEALTH acronym, to help people figure out what are the different categories I should be creating goals in. So, when it comes to just starting at the top, worship, these are going to be your faith-based goals, your spiritual goals, your charitable goals. How much are you, devoting to prayer? How much time are you devoting to serving other people? How much time are you volunteering? How much are you donating to, your church or charity? Like, these are goals you should be having. You should be creating goals around these different aspects. Now, in the Wealth Planner, the Wealthy Way Planner, we give you the option to set 3 goals in each category. Now, if you want to use all 3, great. You're setting a lot of goals for the year. If you want to just set one, like that's just most important to you in that category, then cool. That's cool as well. But the point is to start actually thinking about that category. So you might say, you know what? For worship, I really want to donate much better this year. I want to be more generous. And so, I'm going to make it a goal to donate $10,000 this year, right? Maybe you've never donated before in your life. Like, that is a huge leap. It's going to make you think differently as you pursue that goal. You're going to think about, like, man, I got to either make some more money to be able to accomplish this, or spend less money, on these things that I shouldn't be spending money on. and I just have to learn to be generous. And having the goal will help you get there. So that's what W stands for. Those are the things you should think about. E for education. This would be like your self-development. How much time are you devoting to, growing, in your education? So this would be like books, podcast, seminars, coaching programs. How much time are you devoting to, doing these things? And I always set goals every year of like, hey, I'm going to join, X coaching program, this many, or I'm going to go to this many events or seminars. I'm going to hire this business consultant. I'm going to read this many books. If you follow me on Instagram, I like to read a lot of books. In the last 2 years, I've read 88 books in the last 2 years. And reason is, in 2020, I set a goal. I wanted to read 52 books. I read 52, because that was the goal. I was tracking it throughout the year of like, man, I'm falling behind my pace. Got to catch up. In 2021, my goal was 36 books. I wanted to read 3 a month. I didn't want to necessarily do 52 again. It was really hard. And, I felt like 36 was enough and still going to leave me the lifestyle I wanted. And I hit exactly 36. It's weird, but it's actually not, because when you are tracking your goals, you're more likely to hit them. When they're defined from the beginning and you are keeping yourself accountable to them, you're going to hit them. And we're going to talk about accountability here in a sec. But that's what I do for education. Next one is affluence. So A, right? Affluence is anything to do with money, business, career, investments, all those things, right? How much money you want to make this year? How many rental properties you want to buy? How much cash do you want to have in your bank account? All of these things play a role with your money. Real estate, stocks, crypto. I don't care what you invest in, but start a new business even, okay? You're going to make goals based on that category. Next one up, lifestyle. Now, lifestyle is the one that's pretty fun. It's what most people think about. This would be the cool things in life that, are things that kind of just you want, right, for your lifestyle. Like what kind of vacations you want to go on this year, right? You want to go to Hawaii? You want to go on a couple of week-long vacations? Like what do you want to do? Also, some material things. You want to buy that new watch this year? You want to get a Rolex, an AP? You want to buy your dream car? You want a Tesla? You want a Porsche? Like, that's where you set these goals. Like, a lot of people look down on the material things. I used to be one of those people, but they're good. They're good things to strive for. They're fun. And they're very important. So that's what you would put in the lifestyle section. Next one would be T, which stands for team. Team is your relationships. This would be your family, your friends, your coworkers, your employees, your followers on social media. Like, what kind of goals do you have regarding your relationships? Last year, I set a goal with my wife, Mindy, that we wanted to do 52 date nights, right? 52 date nights is one a week. And we exceeded that. Every Friday, we do date night. And it was really good. We had a lot of fun doing it. We ate some amazing restaurants, and it was just something we really look forward to. I look forward to it throughout the week. Like, man, we're about to eat this super good restaurant. Like, it was amazing. And it's a really good goal. Like, people just don't set goals like that. It's not normal. But when you do set those goals and you're tracking them, I can promise you, if you're hitting your goals and you're staying accountable, your life is going to be way different than it is today when you walk around just like going with the flow and not having any direction. So, I think having those goals for your team, I like to make goals with parties even. I'm like, hey, I want to have a party once a month. I don't know what that looks like. It could be at my house, could be at the office, could be at, a bar or restaurant, like whatever. But I want to have a party once a month where I get everyone together and we have fun, Like, it's just important to me to do these things. If I don't put them as a goal, I don't do them because it's just not like something I would keep track of. It's like being intentional with your time and your goals. Are you looking to find off-market real estate deals? One of the best tools my team uses is batch leads. With batch leads, you're able to pull data, manage lists, and send text messages. On top of that, you can get nationwide access to the MLS to get pictures and comps. My team has used batch leads to get some of our best deals, so I know it works. If you want to start today, you can get half off your first month by going to batchleads.io and using the promo code Ryan. Once again, that's batchleads.io, promo code Ryan for half off your first month. Now, back to the show. I do set follower goals. This is where I would set, if you have a YouTube channel, how many YouTube subscribers you want to get, how many Instagram followers, etc. So, that's where team is and what it is. Next one is health. Okay, H for health. Obviously, we know what health is. What kind of goals do you have for your weight, your body fat, for the hobbies that you're doing, the diets you want to stick to, like what kind of health goals you got? And for me, one of my goals is to get under 10% body fat. I'm not there anymore. I used to be back in my prime when I was playing baseball, but I've been eating too many date nights, apparently. So I gotta get my body fat back down. And, that's been a goal, right? Get under 10%. Another goal is golf. I want to golf once a week, but not only that, I want to break 80. So I've never broken a score of 80 yet. Came close. I did 82 the other day, but my goal is to break 80. And once I do, I'm going to be just like super psyched. And then I'm going to create a new goal. And it'll probably be like, something related to my handicap. So either way, this is what you would do for health, right? You like playing basketball? Make a goal out of it. Hey, I want to play pickup basketball twice a week. I want to join a league, whatever it is. So that's what you're going to do for health. Now, I talked about this with, the Wealthy Way Planner. The reason it's effective is because not only does it teach you the categories at which to set your goals, it gives you direction on how to set them, utilizing SMART goals, right? If you don't know what SMART goals are, it's a way to set a goal that's not like vague and useless. Like, a non-SMART goal would be, I want to be a better businessman. It's like, dude, what does that even mean? No one knows, right? You got to be very specific to the T of what exactly the goal is. But gives you the categories, it gives you the way to do it. But the accountability is the biggest part. So every single day, the planner prompts you to basically keep you accountable to your yearly goals, but also it lets you think about your weekly goals. Like, hey, okay, what are your top 3 goals this week? Okay, to help you hit your yearly goals. You're working backwards. And then to your daily, right? Hey, am I like following the habits that I want for this year? One of the things the Wealthy Way Planner does is it gives you 3 habits that you need to follow for the year. And I think some of the examples we give are like, hey, read for 30 minutes a day. Wake up at 6 a.m. every day. No phone before bed for 1 hour. So, just like 3 simple, easy habits that anyone can do. One of my habits this year was to stretch for 10 minutes every day. Like I wanted to become more flexible again. I could feel my body getting tight. Very simple daily habits. And that planner is going to tell you whether or not you hit them or not. So if you keep not hitting your habits, you're going to change. Like you're either going to quit the planner because you're just not disciplined, or you're going to start changing your actions because you are going to get mad that you keep missing your goals. So that's what's going to keep you accountable on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis. That is the secret to hitting your goals, is having the right vision, having the right categories, the right things to pursue, and then having that daily accountability to stay on track. Because if you're not being held accountable daily, I can promise you, you will not hit your goals. It's impossible, okay? Nobody just naturally stays on track and crushes it, okay? People who are successful because they see themselves getting off track and they're able to get themselves back on, okay? That's what happens. Like, it's why I read the books every year, because I know this is my goal. And I can tell you at the start of this year, you could look on my planner, I was way behind pace. If I had to hit 18 by June, I want to say I was at like 12. And I was like, crap, I need to start picking up the speed in order to hit this goal. And so the next bunch of months, I caught back up and then I got back on pace. But it's only because I knew where I was at. I was measuring it. And that's what you're going to have to do with these goals. And that's what the planner helps you do. So, it's so amazing for the goals, and I highly recommend you get it because it's going to help you stay on track and stay accountable. But also, too, the two things that I've included in there that also help me, and these aren't necessarily goals, but they're just things that help me stay centered to reaching my goals and everything, is it has 3 things every single day that it requires you to write that you're grateful for. So, you're writing these, affirmations, essentially, things you're, just grateful for on a daily basis. Could be something so simple as just like, I'm grateful that, I'm healthy, man. I'm grateful that I got a real estate deal yesterday. I'm grateful that, I got a job and a place to work. Like, very simple things that we take for granted, but by the act of you having to think every day of 3 things you're grateful for, it helps you start to see all the good things going on in your life. And it changes your mindset for the day of like, you know what? I was thinking things suck, but my life's actually pretty good. And it's going to help you out tremendously. The other portion of the planner on a daily is the journal. And I journal every single day. I think it's super important. There are lots of ways you can journal. You can, reflect and think about, things that have happened, things you could have did better, just giving yourself your own feedback. You could write your task list for the day, things you want to accomplish. You could pray. I love praying and writing them down. That way I can look back and see kind of like what I was going through at that time. There's just so many things that you could do as your journal. It's totally up to you. And there's no right or wrong way. But, if you're journaling every day and you're having this reflection, I can promise you're going to be, a lot more aware of what's going on with yourself. And, I'll tell you too, like a lot of people, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with therapists or stuff like that. I think you definitely need people in your life who can, kind of give you some feedback and evaluation that maybe you don't see, right? Because a lot of us aren't aware of what's going on. But I can tell you, I'm much more aware of what's going on with myself than most people because of this. Because I'm constantly reflecting and writing and analyzing and just thinking about like, man, all the things that are good in my life, all the things I want to accomplish, and all the things I'm grateful for. Like, I'm constantly doing that, and you can't help but reflect and like be more self-aware of the things going on if you're just doing this every day. And that's why I created this, and it's why it's my mission this year to get 1 million people to go through the Wealthy Way. I think it's going to create crazy impact. I think it's going to be amazing. And I know just following this method for the last bunch of years has, made my life so much better and, allowed me to get to where I'm at today. And I know it's going to help a lot of people as well. So, when it comes to setting goals, those are the biggest tips I have. I think, one other part too, I forgot to mention is with goal setting. This is huge. I actually said this to my all-stars in my future flipper, that there needs to be every year one overarching goal for the year, okay? Something that is just like more important to you this year above anything else. And it doesn't need to be like noble, like, you're like, man, I'm going to be a better spouse this year. It's like, maybe that is what is most important to you because your marriage is on the rocks. Like, okay, if your marriage is like struggling, then yes, your goal should be to be a better spouse. And you have to define what being a better spouse is, right? Like, what does that look like? Are you going on date nights? Are you, how much time are you spending? Tell me, like, what does it look like? So that could be your overarching goal. But, for me, I said this on another podcast, like, in 2018, my overarching goal was that I wanted to be one of the best flippers in Las Vegas. And anything that distracted me from that, I wasn't going to do it. I had other goals beyond that, but that was like the big one for the year. 2019, it was really like I shared this on another podcast of really understanding how to be a dad and, you know, get through this rough patch of 2019 where my son had a lot of issues when he was born. Then he had brain surgery, and it was like super tough. And like, you know, I was just like in survival mode of like, man, how do I navigate being a father? This is the most important thing to me this year, is like making sure I'm here for my wife, for my son, everything. And that was what I did. 2020, the goal was social media. I said, you know what? I'm going to do everything possible to build my social media, and I'm not concerned with anything else. If this distracts me from making content, not doing it. 2021, it was about monetizing social. How can we use what we've created and build products and services that benefit, my audience, and, what does that look like? And I think we did a great job of that. And here in 2022, when I look at the overarching goal for my life and, this year, it is the wealthy way. Like literally, you're going to see me talk about the wealthy way every single piece of content. And some people are going to get annoyed, and I don't really care, because at the end of the day, this is my overarching goal, is to get 1 million people through the wealthy way. And if I can do that, I know there's going to be drastic change in the world. And whatever it leads to, it leads to. Like, I don't know, monetization-wise, what will ever happen with it. Everything's free. And I don't ever really plan to change that. But, like, in the end, I don't need to know what the final step of the wealthy way is. All I need to know is this year, I want 1 million people to go through it. I don't know how it's going to happen, but that's what I'm striving for. And everything else to me, yeah, I have other goals, but that's the overarching goal. So when it comes to you and you're setting these goals, preferably, the wealthy way planner, you're going to set goals in all these categories, and they're all very important. But I want you to think about one that stands above the rest. What is this overarching goal that you are going to strive for in 2022? I don't know. It's different for everybody, but this should be a goal that is so important to you that if anything distracts you from it, you're turning it down. If it stops you or it slows you down from hitting that goal, you're not going to do it. So think about that. And like I said, think about the rest of these things with goal setting. Keep yourself accountable. Have a planner. That's it. That's how you set goals. That's how you become successful. That's how you achieve, consistency and continued success. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you did, leave a 5-star review. Make sure you subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching The Ryan Pineda Show. If you want to work with me, head over to ryanpineda.com. You can find my courses, coaching programs, and upcoming events. We also have free resources you can download, so head over to ryanpineda.com.